Hi guys, so this is the next video in the chapter 11 series. So today we'll be looking into functions of international unions, trade agreements and organizations' contribution to foreign trade. Trade blocs. A free trade zone in which few countries work together with cooperation in accordance to a treaty in connection with tariff, duties and trade is known as a trade bloc. Trade blocs are also known as free trade zones, trade associations, and trade partnerships. Trade zones. Some examples for trade zones are European Union, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, Group of 8, G8. Let's look into each of them briefly. European Union. The origin of this was from the European Economic Community established on the Treaty of Rome signed by 6 European countries in 1957. The members of this union maintain a common trade policy, agriculture and fisheries policy, zonal development policies. They also have introduced a common currency unit called Euro in 1999. Association of Southeast Asian Nations. This is a society of 10 Southeast Asian countries which was established for political and economic cooperation. ASEAN was preceded by an organization formed in 1961 called the Association of Southeast Asia, a group of countries consisting of Philippines, Malaysia and Thailand. These three countries joined with Indonesia and Singapore and established ASEAN in 1967. Group of 8. This is an international organization founded by 8 mainstream countries in the world. The oil crisis in 1973 and the global economic recession were the reasons for the origin of this organization in 1974. Amalgamated with USA, West Germany, Japan and France unofficially with 3 other countries was the origin of this organization. Once Russia joined the group in 1997, this was officially named as the Group of 8. Trade agreements. An agreement created between 2 or more countries for the trade and exchange of goods during a specific period is known as a trade agreement. An agreement between 2 countries is known as a bilateral agreement, whereas an agreement between 3 or more countries is called as a multilateral agreement. Some examples of trade agreements are given below. North American Free Trade Agreement, South Asian Free Trade Agreement, Asia Pacific Trade Agreement. Let's look into the free trade agreements briefly. NAFTA. This is an agreement in which the USA, Canada and Mexico partnered and which was commenced on the 1st of January 1994. Conditions of the abolition of trade barriers among these 3 countries, removal of tariffs, exchange of labors are included in this agreement. A specific characteristics of this agreement is that it will be limited to the goods manufactured within these countries only. When the goods manufactured outside these 3 countries are exchanged among them, then tariffs are applicable. Goods will be free of tariff only when the produce is manufactured in these countries. SAFTA. The agreement which was made with the intention of spreading trade cooperation within the SAARC zone, creating a free zone within South Asia and making economic policies of the SAARC zone countries in line with globalization. This agreement was signed at 12th SAARC Summit held in Islamabad in 2004. With the different states entering into this agreement, they made a collective agreement to benefit through the removal of tariffs on all imports among the countries, ports and transport facilities, provision of services with regard to trading, etc. APTA. This agreement commenced as the Bangkok Agreement in 1975 and was named as Asia Pacific Trade Agreement on the 2nd November 2005. The member countries of this agreement are Bangladesh, China, India, Laos, Mongolia, Sri Lanka, and South Korea. This is the oldest and preferred trade agreement in the Asia Pacific region. The objective of this agreement is to expedite the economic development of the member countries through minimizing tariff and barriers as far as possible to import goods and services within these countries rather than importing goods and services from other countries. International organizations. These are organizations that have been established to minimize barriers of tariff, exchange control regulations, customs rules and regulations that impose restriction on foreign trade. Some examples for such organizations are World Trade Organizations, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, Asian Development Bank, International Bank of Reconstruction and Development, International Monetary Fund. Let's look into each of these organizations briefly. World Trade Organization. This is an international organization established to ease and monitor the international trade. Having commenced on the 1st of January 1995, this organization operates globally in connection with trade rules and regulations among nations. The head office of the WTO is located at Geneva in Switzerland. The main purpose of the WTO is to facilitate discussions among member states for trade promotion, to look down on trade barriers, and to raise the welfare of the people in the member countries. SAARC. This is an economical and political association of 8 South Asian countries. It was established on December 8, 1985. The cooperative activities within SAARC is performed across 5 areas: agriculture and rural development, telecommunication, science, technology and climatology, health and population affairs, transport, human resource development. Asian Development Bank. The Asian Development Bank commenced its operation on 19th December 1966. The head office is situated at Manila in Philippines. Out of 67 member countries at present, 48 are from the Asian region while the rest 19 from the Pacific region. The main objective is to promote economic and social development of the member countries. This bank takes steps to provide loans and grants to its member countries for implementing poverty eliminating projects. International Bank of Reconstruction and Development, or World Bank. The IBRD was commenced on the 27th of December 1945 with the Bretton Woods Agreement to rebuild the European economy that was destroyed in the Second World War. This bank is known as the bank which provides loan facilities for the development projects implemented in developing countries with the purpose of eliminating poverty. The establishment of sustainable development and elimination of poverty are the main objectives of the World Bank. It has been established with the objectives of improving global finance cooperation, ascertaining financial stability, facilitating for international trade, widening employment opportunities, providing for sustainable economic development, and reducing poverty. International Monetary Fund. The IMF can be introduced as the international organization that provides financial and technical assistance as well as observes the balance of payment and exchange ratios. Its head office is situated at Washington in USA. It has been established with the objectives of improving global financial cooperation, ascertaining financial stability, facilitating for the international trade, widening employment opportunities, sustainable economic development, and reducing poverty. Trade associations, trade agreements, and international organizations have enormous impacts on foreign trade. Let's look into few of them. Removal of tariff and non-tariff barriers that affect free trade, promotion of cooperation among countries, gaining stable market for the country's own products through trade agreements, minimize disadvantages of price changes since a stable price is gained, ensuring all member countries gaining equal rights, promotion of global financial cooperation and financial stability, expansion of employment opportunities, sustainable development, and reduction of poverty, etc. Now let's look into few trends in foreign trade. With the help of e-commerce, foreign trade had spread all over the world. Establishment of new trade zones and trade partnerships to accelerate the economic development and to face the economic challenges or crises effectively. Leaning towards foreign trade policies to encourage higher value added products. So that's it with this video, guys. Please do like and share to learn and let others learn. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.